right now.
And now everybody gets to got it and they can accept the fact it's being recorded. That's good.
Okay, I'll send the YouTube link to Nora and Ken, and you can
Sure.
do with it as you will.
All right. So while I've got everybody here before we actually get going, you know, our group is purely a volunteer organization, and all of the officers and board members are all volunteers. And we don't have a whole lot of activity going on, but we do need people. And after a while, people get burned out, and to say the least. And the positions are the president, vice president, which is, so Nora's our president. She's been president for several years. I'm vice president. And I was the president for, I don't know, I can't even count how many years until I was able to get Nora to take over. Yeah. And we've got a secretary and a treasurer and membership chair and what in the world's going on? Well, that's your cat's tail, Eric.
It is.
You know, a snake loose in your office or something. Anyway.
She just hopped up on my desk.
Yes.
Aww, a Russian blue.
We really need some extra people.
She's just a short hair.
This looks Russian blue.
Hi.
Not a whole lot of work. Really. We have a board meeting once a month. Usually the cat doesn't attend, but sometimes and our board meetings usually take about an hour to an hour and a half. And we go over, you know, what our plans are for the rest of the year or the upcoming year. What kind of shows we're going to be putting on, the themes of the show. We have to talk about finding venues and judges and things like this. It's nothing difficult. And so it's always fun talking with other people on the board. And but we really need to start thinking about getting some new people on board.
Jackie.
Yeah, but hi.
We just had one of our members give a formal resignation starting in February or January rather, Michael Wicks. He's our secretary. We think we've got somebody to take over his place, but we still need a couple more people. And our meetings are always just, you know, online on Zoom videos. So it's not like it's a problem where you have to get in your car, get dressed up and drive someplace and traffic. And, you know, you do it for the convenience of your home. Our board meetings start at 7 o'clock on the
Hi.
Wednesday each month.
Second Monday of the month.
Oh,
Second Monday evening. Yeah.
Oh, I'll learn eventually. And so we really like if anybody else could join in with us. It's not a lot of work, but it really helps support the activities of the club. And you know, we've been doing real well the last number of years. We have 2 or 3 exhibits per year. For a while during COVID, of course, everything was 100% online exhibits. Now we're getting back to our in-person exhibits, which we're happy to do. But we'll have at least probably one online exhibit each year, and then at least one in-person exhibit. That's probably what we'll maintain for next year or two. But if anybody was the least interested, we really need help on the board of directors. And otherwise we just have to, you know, give up. Anyway, well, so let's get started with our show now. I'm going to start with the pieces that got awards.
How do you tell?
We'll start.
Excuse me 1 second, Ken. Somebody's got some sounds going on in the background. So if you could mute yourself, if there's any kind of background noise going on, so that we can, if we don't hear it, it's better. Go ahead, Ken.
Okay. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and we'll start out with all the award winners, starting out with the honorable mentions. And Barbara's going to pull them up on the screen, and we'll talk about each one. Now, unfortunately, our juror isn't with us. If he was, we'd have him talk about the pieces a bit.
Hi.
But we'll,
Julia, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I can see you.
Julia's here.
Yeah.
What?
That's the germ.
I'm here.
Oh, you are, wave.
Yeah. Can't
It's a
you
shame
see
that
me?
Oh, there you are, okay, fine.
Okay, good.
All right, well, that's good. So, Barbara, if you can start by pulling up the honorable mentions.
Okay, let me get my shared screen
Sure.
started. And let's see, here's our
Yeah.
honorable mention.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody help me.
One spectrum, that's a 20 by 20 photo, okay. So, who do you, can you tell us about, a little bit about why you selected this? As
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That's their photo.
guitar, I selected two different objects, very nice to I never seen such an image. Guitar in the sky, the color. I mean, it is never easy to say why artwork speaks to you, but it spoke to me. I like a nice combination
Yeah.
and very ordinary object with the color and the sky. It looks fabulous to me. That's why.
All right. Lonnie, are you here with us? I guess not,
You're
okay.
on mute. If you want to talk, just click mute. And
Just click what?
if you want to.
Yeah, could we ask everybody to please mute themselves
Just click
except
what?
for Ken and me and Nora? Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go on to the next honorable mention, Barbara.
Okay,
All right, Sam Silberstein. Sam, are you with us today?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Well, first, Julio, why don't you talk about it a little bit, then we'll see what Sam has to say.
I mean, it is very. It is difficult. Why did I pick it? I like the composition. I like the deepness and the symbolically, very difficult materials, very nicely woven and got together. That's why I pick it. I like the color combination and the very nice work.
Thank you.
Let's see, how did you make this, Sam? What is it? Oh, it's a tapestry, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was something that started at the beginning of the pandemic. I noticed that since we were all staying at home, I started walking the neighborhood and realized that so many people were ordering stuff online and stuff that was arriving in cardboard boxes. So as opposed to trying to recycle the boxes, I started repurposing. And I would paint them, cut them up, and then would stitch them together. So I have a whole series of pieces that are cardboard box based. They go from tapestries to small sculptures to large sculptures, wall sculptures, all sorts of things. And in addition to that, the beginnings of the pandemic were, for me at least, a time for introspection. Tried to figure out what was going on around us and how to protect ourselves. Vaccines were still not available. We were gathering information and all that. And so I started creating a series of mandalas, which are meditation objects that are prevalent in various disciplines, mostly from Asia. And it was a way to try to look inwards and find some calm. In the process of stitching square by square provided me with a meditation practice of sorts. So it came all together. The art practice and the meditation practice. I don't really meditate, but this was meditative as a process. And so I ended up, like I said, with a whole series. And this is one of them.
So this is cardboard?
This is cardboard. These are former Amazon boxes.
Okay,
And very nicely work.
very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this is an honorable mention.
Yes.
Janine, are you with us tonight?
I am, yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, first, let's get Julia to talk about it a bit.
I like the light and the deepness, and as if everything is in the air. I like the combination and a lot of layers in it, and very, very comforting, very nice. That's why I picked this one.
Thank you.
All right, Janine, your thoughts? Tell us about it a little bit.
Yeah, a year ago, I visited Ireland, and I was visiting the area where my family is from on the East Coast. And then my husband and I, we went with a group and traveled around Ireland. And this scene is a place on the west coast of Ireland. And the Irish call that area the Wild Atlantic Way. And we were visiting the Cliffs of Moher, if anyone's heard of those. It's the most popular tourist site in Ireland. And sheer, cliffs that go down into the Atlantic Ocean. Very, like the description, Wild Atlantic Way. And we were in the van at this point waiting for the rest of our group to come after hiking along the top of the cliffs and waiting. And here was this small house, probably half a mile from these crazy cliffs that went down into the ocean. And the light, it was late in the day. And it just struck me that here was this small home so close to the edge of the country. And it was so beautiful and peaceful, but small in the midst of this huge sky and huge land. And it just got me thinking about what it would be like to live there. But meeting some of the Irish, they're so proud of their country. And so I named it Rooted, because I thought, if this is where your family started, and you're a farmer, you're going to stay there. You're rooted there, even though maybe the winds are, kind of crazy and it's kind of the wild coast, but you're rooted there and that's where you stay. And it was very, it just got me thinking a lot about my family that is from Ireland. And it was a very meditative painting to do. And when I saw the theme of your show, I just thought I felt like this just fit perfectly. So thank you so much for choosing my painting.
Just out of curiosity,
Thank you.
did
Thank
you take a photograph and then do this painting afterwards, or you did the painting right there plein air? Or?
I took several photographs and changed it a little bit. But yeah, several photographs trying to get those clouds. This is actually, I've done 3 paintings and this is the second one of that theme. So
Okay. It's very nice.
Beautiful.
Something very interesting about the way you've got that low wall in the foreground and by the road there. It kind of draws your eye into it. It's kind of an unusual touch, and I like the way you've got the high resolution, if you will, of the grass in the foreground in the lower right hand corner, and then of course further out it gets less detail. I like that technique. It really
Very good technique.
it gives a real good impression of depth of the piece.
thank
Let's
you.
go to our next one now.
Thank you.
All right. So this this is a new prize we decided to include. Ted Herman is one of our board members. He's been a member of Cal for quite some time. He's a photographer. And he's right now, he's our treasurer, but he's probably going to step down pretty soon. And he's been such a long active member. We decided we ought to do something to honor him. And so we've set up this Ted Herman award for photography, since he's a photographer. And it's an extra award. We've got extra ones. It's a, there's no money involved, but it's a nice piece of any event. And so Michael Wicks obviously was the winner, and he was also, this is one of our board members, our secretary. Are you with us here, Michael? No, not tonight. All right, well, Julio, would you like to give your
Yes,
thoughts on this one?
I love the composition. I mean, the contrast between two colors always.
And then I don't know how long this is gonna go, and I'll just go till whenever you.
I like the contrast. I like the composition, the deepness. Everything is so beautiful. That's why I picked this up. I don't know where it is, but I love to be there.
Michael is in addition to other things, he's a skin diver, scuba diver, and he does a lot of underwater photography. And of course, obviously, he's on top of the water. In this case, he also does some very interesting painting with pouring paints on pieces, abstract works. But anyway, all right, well, very good. Let's go on to our next one. Okay, third page. All right.
It is amazing. I mean, I like the technique, the light, the composition, everything is so beautiful. It's hard to believe that it was a draw,
Oh yeah, that's one of these drawn charcoal. Okay, yeah, in the last couple of years we've had several just excellent graphite charcoal drawings like this, that they look so lifelike. You say, how could this not be a photograph?
It is very close to photograph, yes.
Yeah, but it's obviously it's not. Are you with us, Annie? By any chance? No, okay. But you look at this, the amount of detail, it must be so much time involved.
Yeah.
And so much pencil sharpening.
Amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah. It's just like, to me, it's incomprehensible to get that level of detail with a pencil, if you will, or pencils.
I would like to know how long did it take?
Yeah. Oh, so I just whipped it out in one evening. Probably not. Anyway, okay, let's go on to our second place.
Oh, I like to have clean work, very nice technique, the Mongolian warrior and the horse, the details. And I know it is very difficult to work this material, and he produced wonderful. That's why I don't know who did it, but I love it very much.
Probably from China, from the name of the artist's name, most likely. We've been getting quite a few very good entries from China over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And
I don't think, no, not here.
anyway, all right. Let's go on to the next one.
Oh, this is very mysterious. Charcoal, the same photograph quality.
Yeah.
Very, I don't know, where do they go? What do they do? Mostly women. It looks very wealthy women, whether they are going for a religious or a party or thing. Very mysterious. I wanted to know more and more about it. I wish that artists can explain to us, but it gives a lot of things to my imagination. Wedding or a funeral or what is this? It's, look at all the details. It is the same like photography quality with charcoal.
And it's
Is
little,
the artist? Mhm.
9 by 24.
Yes.
Huh, okay. Interesting. All right,
Back to
let's
the
go on to
back
our-
to the mountain. You know what is the
Mhm.
mountain? Back to the mountain. I like the depth and the color, the contrast, everything. You know.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our best in show.
Yeah.
Diane, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All
Can
right.
you explain? It's so beautiful. The wind and it's such a nice word. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The title of it, of course, is When Did Rain? And it's one of my experimental pieces that I started working with wax pastels and water.
Wonderful.
A lot of the background is washes with the color, and then you using the edge of the pastel to create the impression of rain.
Yes, impression. And very quiet colors, very, how do you say, redeemed colors, melting very nicely.
Yes, and I try to get the idea of the blue of the sky, the yellow of maybe subdued sunshine, and the green of the grasses, and then the red sort of I used as maybe if it was more of a violent wind or a violent rain, to get that feeling.
Diane, I love it. Do you have any exhibition, anything?
Pardon?
Are you planning to have exhibition or something?
Not now.
Congratulations. I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you.
Where are you from, Diane? Where do you live?
I'm in San Jose.
Okay.
San Jose, not too far.
Too far to come to meetings, so unless they're on Zoom.
It's always interesting to see where all our members are from. All right, well, that's very good. Is there anyone else here who's in the audience, so to speak, who has a piece in the show that you would like to talk about or ask Julia for her opinion about it?
I don't know if any of my pieces got in the show. It just,
Well, let's see if I can find you. Where is my find? Sorry, folks.
If you didn't get an email telling you were accepted or not accepted, you should check your spam folder. Stuff may be going there.
Okay, these are alphabetical, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
Should be
you'd
around the
probably be
middle.
Around 4. More. No, I don't see your name here.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And since you are there, would you be so kind to check if mine is got in? My name is Cecilia Anastos.
What is your name?
Cecilia, and the last name is Anastos. Anastos.
Okay, let me go back
you.
to one here. Yes.
Yes, there they are.
Two of them.
Yeah, the two of them. Yeah, that's what I thought. So those are the shadow of the Flatiron. So the Flatiron is a very famous building in Fifth and Broadway in New York. And I saw a photograph that it was a very interesting shadow. So I wanted a progression of abstraction from, like similar to the photograph to more abstract work. And these are the two most abstract pieces that I sent.
Okay,
Thank
here
you so
is
much for
the
this
other
program.
one.
Yeah, so this is the other one, yes.
Thank you. And Lisa Martin. Let's see if I can find you here. I think you
Hello.
do.
Yes, M is somewhere in the middle. Hello, everyone. I live in Long Beach, but I'm actually in Chicago tonight. So I'm glad I was able to join you. So I have
There you are.
Yeah, that's
Water-
that's
water
one
color.
of them. This is the first time I've actually had more than one juried in, so that's very honorable to me. Thank you so much. The first one is of Japanese koi from a Japanese garden at Cal State Long Beach. So this is watercolor.
Watercolor, yes, I remember.
But the next one, if you can click to the
Sure.
next one, is actually probably the one that I liked most with man and nature. That's a water tank in the distance. And it's in this beautiful area near Orcutt, California.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love the feeling of the sunset there. So thanks.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
Awesome.
Ken, are we allowed to chime in?
If you put your name in chat, it'll make it easier to find you.
Put my name where?
In chat, do you know how to use
Oh, in the
chat?
chat. Oh, okay.
Yeah, please.
I was.
Again, if you put, oh,
where?
Suzanne?
Um,
Okay.
How do you do that?
You're probably one. There you are.
There I am.
Yeah.
I'm actually a mixed media
Makes
artist, collagist, and for the last several years, I have been doing photography. And most of my photography is done on a drive-by. So I'm not driving, but my husband is driving. And I just take shots along the way. And this one really, to me, met the theme. It was taken in Ventura. Is Jamie on there? It was taken in Ventura. We were there visiting some friends, and I was just snapping shots along the way. And all of these workers toiling in the fields, hard work. And I do alter my work. It's the original photograph, but I, play with it and incorporating the background that I did sort of told the story for me that this is hard work and somebody has to do it. And there they were. So I enjoyed this piece.
I was at a reception, another reception just last week, and it was a photo show, and one of the artists had some pieces that were similar in appearance to what yours is, but they were specifically using an infrared filter in their camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it got all of the vegetation in the background looked white like yours does, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using any filters, or is this purely just manipulation?
I always use my iPhone now. It's
iPhone. Yeah.
My iPhone.
Wow.
I have some nice cameras.
Yeah.
And they're cumbersome to carry. So the iPhones, they're legit now. They take some wonderful photos, and I alter them on the computer.
Okay.
I could use infrared on this. There are many different things you can use. That's not what I used on this.
Yeah.
But yeah, some.
Because I notice I can see these little hints of color. Those two workers bending down on the left side with the blue shirts, if you will.
Uh-huh.
And then in the center, towards about the mid, I can get some orange and reds and things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
infrareds don't have those colors. They're just purely
No, it's
black and white,
just,
if you will.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's very interesting, that combination of colors.
Thank you, Lisa, for your comment. No, it's a few years ago, we had a camera. It was the San Fernando Valley Camera Club, which was at the center where Ken did all of the work, building all of the panels. It was a wonderful gallery.
And that's where we would meet for our camera club at night. And some wonderful photographers, and our juror, Paul Moshe is his name.
Yes.
We would all, have to bring 4 pieces a night, and then he would judge them. And some of my work, I did pretty well there. And he would say, please do not tell me you used your iPhone with this, because I would get a top score on it. And he said, I just bought $3,000 worth of lenses and I can't get anything like that. So it was always a joke, please don't tell me that you used your iPhone.
Well, anybody else have a piece they'd like to show off?
Oh, yeah, Patty Adams has her name in, and let's see.
Hi.
Find her. There you are.
That's cool.
Patty?
I'm since I was a little girl, I collected sea glass. I have a giant cylinder filled with sea glass from all over the world. I was a flight attendant for 33 years, first with Pan Am and then United. So whenever I got close to the ocean, I would go check out the shore and try to find sea glass. So this is an imagined piece of sea glass, like it was being left as a jewel on the edge of the foam. I looked at a lot of photographs of foam, and I had my sea glass that I could actually use to draw it. I left the sea glass as the last thing because I was very intimidated trying to draw a translucent piece of glass. So the piece is colored pencil. And then the sand is, that base layer was airbrushed. And then I stippled it, I can't tell you, thousands of times with colored pencil to get the feeling or grit of sand there.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Next is Julie Lipa. And I suspect she will be 2 or 3 here. Three.
There it is.
Here? Yes.
Okay. First of all, amazing pieces of art in this collection. I'm really honored to be in the group. Really, really beautiful work. This one was made for a friend of mine. It was a commissioned piece. She asked me, and I've never done a commissioned piece before. I've only made a few pieces of art so far. This is it's a 3D. I don't know if you can tell, there's a little drop shadow on the television, but I use vintage televisions. I gut them, cut the face off of them, and modify them a little bit. And I use a spokes model. You see the woman in the foreground. She's mounted on plexi and covered in resin. And the spokes model always relates in some way to the topic of this of the piece. This one being about access to clean water. My friend grew up in Detroit in Michigan with me, and she now lives in Florida. So that was the topic. Normally my topics are about smoking or women's right, or human rights or women's rights, that type of thing. So this was kind of an oddball thing for me to do. I usually do photo transfer. This one has a fair amount of photo transfer, and it also has decoupage. And what was really fun is that when I presented this to her, I was pretty nervous about presenting it to her. I had done this piece twice. I really wasn't satisfied with how it was turning out. Sadly, what you really can't see here, there's a lot of detail in the piece. So, if you were to look at it like a regular, piece, piece of art, you'd say, yeah, it has nice composition, what have you. You really have to dig in here to see the details. But because she was interested in access to clean water, I was thinking about everything that man does to pollute water, and the diseases that come from it, cholera and typhoid and Hep A and polio. So in this piece, you will see these bubbles of, so it kind of looks like a day at the beach. Then there's blown up pictures of what Hep A would look like under the microscope. And I kind of layered it with a spokes model, so it looks like kind of a sinister postcard, I guess. I kind of travel postcard. But there's cars that are, I don't know if you remember in the 70s, they used to dump cars like in rivers. So that's kind of what you see on one side. And then some of the water is water that's been tainted from like copper mining. And it turns the water these really beautiful colors, but it's, you know, dangerous and polluted. So the two cool things about this piece when I present it to my friend is that her mother used to be mistaken for being Annette Funicello. And later she became the president of Annette Funicello's fan club. And the other thing is that it says Cypress Gardens, the water skiers on the left side. She used to go there all the time when she was a kid. And this is a dear friend of mine. I didn't know either thing about her, but it was just by chance that I happened to put some things in there that were spot on. But anyhow, that's my piece on clean water. It's called Welcome to Parasites.
Okay, next, Steve Seagren.
Yeah. In there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why my find is not working on my search here, but. So we're doing this the hard way. Whoops. The really hard way.
In there somewhere.
Yep, one page back. It'll be in 4. Near the end.
Oh, I see it.
Yes.
Yeah, there's actually 2, but this one is
Okay.
is a small one. Is acrylic on paper. I would, if I said I was thinking about mankind and nature when I painted this, I'd be lying. I wasn't really. I like the light hitting the wall. This, I took a bunch of pictures of it. Usually I work from a photograph because I like painting in private, I guess, is that what, otherwise I'd paint outside. But yeah, this is a wall behind my apartment building. I like compositions that kind of squeeze everything, to the side of the top. But there's a bunch of colors in the wall that I put in there. The camera didn't really pick them up. I don't know if you can see them, but I like that you can look at this and get kind of lost in the wall itself. And then, you see the trees and stuff above it. But I like the compositions that make you feel like there's something going on beyond the borders of the canvas. Like in this one in particular, there might be, it feels like there's actually a world on the other side of that wall. To me, it does. And that's that one. And that is another one that I don't know.
Is the other one before or after this? Do you know?
I think it's before.
Before with the road and yes.
Yeah, this one.
The
Yeah.
crack, yeah.
Yeah, this is in the front of my apartment building, and this was the crack was what got my attention. And I also did the same thing with colors in the road. I like asking you to look at the road, and in a way it feels kind of atmospheric to me with the all the different grays, and then you kind of almost like taking a slow walk through the painting. Your eye kind of goes all the way up to the top. And the fact that, you know, you see half of the van, again, it feels like, to me, it feels like anyway, that there's a world off to the side that you don't see, that this actually continues, but you don't see, always see, I'm only letting you look at this part of the world. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I was going for.
Thank you. Next, Randy Sprout, and we'll see if you're on this page or the next.
Next one.
Next one. Okay.
There, the old boat. I was teaching a watercolor class in Finland, and we were in the rushes, and I used a free program called Art Rage to demonstrate that you could paint on computer screen directly. And this is with a Art Rage software program, and my idea was I would get this boat to float out in those reeds, and I would just kind of abstract the background. So that was my intent.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful, Randy. Extraordinary.
Okay, Carolyn, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce your name because it looks even harder than mine.
Hobo Heinrich.
Thank you.
Oh, there it is.
I think there's two.
Okay.
There they are. Oh, past it.
Oh, okay.
Up.
Up.
Round one. That's the first one.
Oh, the
Okay.
Glassworks, yes.
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 Yeah, so I work in glass mosaics, and this one is not any particular lighthouse, but it's reminiscent of several that we have here on our coast. I live in Washington State, so this was just kind of, inspired by that. And, I was really going for the movement of the waves in the water and the different colors that are in the water. So that's what I was going for. And then I did use some real shells and rocks in there too, as well, to, get that different textures in the piece.
Okay, and let's see, you have another one here as
And then
well?
next to it, yes.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
the cardinals, yeah.
Yeah. So this was a winter scene I did a couple years ago. And again, it was really just kind of a play on just the different colors of white and gray, and, on a snowy field, that there's the different colors of gray and so forth going on in there. And I wanted to bring the cardinals in and the birds sitting on the trees, and the mountains in the background. So that was my inspiration, is just the winter scene.
How do you assemble this piece? What do you use for background, and then are you gluing the pieces of glass on, or?
Yeah, these are, I think both of these are on wood backgrounds, and yeah, I glue them down. Everything is hand cut. I glue them down, and then I just use grout, just like, from the hardware store. This one has, I actually put, so you can't see it in the photo, but I actually put a glitter wash in the grout so that it sparkles when you see it in person. So just to get that extra depth in the picture.
I like these a lot.
No, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, next, looks like Tricia Hoy. Should be right close.
Yes, I did see it just now.
There.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So this one, what did I call it? Sooner than you think, which is obviously our worries about climate change, and really the question for the collage, because it is a collage, is what are we doing to our planet, and what are we doing about it? Because I personally don't think we're doing enough. And so there are little bits and pieces of my thoughts around the painting here. That it's all happening sooner than we think, and I feel very badly for the next generations to come, because I think they're going to be in a world of trouble. Does anybody agree with me?
Absolutely.
I thought you would. We artists do think that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any more names here, but
Yeah.
there are several comments here.
Can you hear
where
me?
People have spoken, and I just wanted to tell you all, you should look at chat just so you can see what all the comments are. I'm sorry, who have I missed?
Okay, here.
Oh, Ken, okay. Let me find you on here.
Hi.
Okay, you're gonna be on the next page. There. I think you have a couple of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Do you want to start with this one or?
Sure. First of all, I want to say Randy's picture is extraordinary, and that's all I'm going to say. Now, regarding this picture, I photographed this in Alaska, up in Prince William Sound, and I caught a passenger boat or a tourist boat going by these huge mountains. If you've ever been to Alaska, some of these, the mountains in a territory, hiking through it, the glaciers, is you got to be really in good physical shape. So I do digital photography, and I kind of change things around to make it look more dramatic, and the colors. And we were on a cruise, a Princess cruise, and we also took a boat, my wife and I, and we took a photograph of a tour boat and the background. I was really lucky to get that kind of background.
And then you have, I believe, another one here. Yeah.
Yes. This is in a famous town called Keukenhof, Holland. And it's in the Netherlands, and it's about 50 miles from Amsterdam. So we were on a cruise. So what happened was we went downtown to the main station, and we took a 50-mile bus to this location. And let me tell you something, it's swarming with people. The blooms come out around September and in the spring, and they're just spectacular. It's not so much the tulips, but it's the landscaping. And what I did here, I got it right here. What I did was I try to expose the shade rather than the light, because the flowers were so brilliant, and it would highlight the flowers. That's what I wanted to do. And these people on the horizon were just kind of coming up to this little area of landscaping. But if you ever get if you ever get a chance to go there, it's the most spectacular garden you'd ever want to see. And we went with a couple of friends of ours, Judy Heimlich and Bob Heimlich. Judy Heimlich has a beautiful watercolor here, by the way. I don't know if she's online or not. But
she's here.
Yeah, I just kind of try to highlight the flowers, make them more the colors. That's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Phil Schulte. I think you had your hand up.
It's me. Yeah. Hi. It's
It's
actually
Phil
me.
Schulte's computer.
Yeah. That's right.
I will find you eventually.
Yeah. I don't know how to change the name, but anyway.
You're Mia?
I am Mia, yes.
Hi, Mia. There you are.
Hi. Yeah, Mia. It's this painting's large. It's 36 by 36. It's acrylic on canvas. I'm an abstract painter, so everything I do comes from my memory or my emotion or my thoughts of that particular moment that I approach the canvas. And in this particular case, I had just come back from Arizona from a trip to Scottsdale. And the way I usually approach my work is that it's an accumulation of thoughts and observations. And I had seen all these forms as I walked around Scottsdale, and I had a real feeling of sacredness. I don't know why, but the desert appealed to me, and there seemed to be a real mystery to it. And I didn't know how that would come out of me or in what form it would take. And I never do, because I have to be mentally ready to face my canvas and allow it to come out. And so in this case, this painting is an accumulation of all the forms that I saw. The mountains, everything in it is made up from my mind, but the forms are really a collaboration of all these things that I had seen: the curvy shapes of the cactus, the rust color of the desert, the peaks of rocks, the concept of potentially a dry rotted fence in the distance, the yellow of the sun beating down on the earth, the blue of the sky coming into my mind, and turquoise crept its way into this picture. And someone asked me when they saw it, how did turquoise get in there? And I said, I think it's my tribute to the Native American. I could not get the turquoise out of my head, and it did come into the painting in its own way. So anyway, that's my approach.
Thank you. And I don't see anybody else on chat. Have I
Barbara.
missed anyone?
I think you missed me,
Okay, who are you?
Peter
Peter.
Schuler.
All right, you're right close by, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wanted to give a little shout out to Kenneth. I know Kuchenhof very well. I'm on a Facebook group that it's called the Dutch Way of Life. I'm half Dutch, and the Dutch Way of Life has these virtual tours all throughout the 12 provinces of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, I really liked your photograph of Kuchenhof.
Thank you. It's you can't miss. It's a beautiful country.
Absolutely.
And,
there's so much more to see than just Amsterdam.
And the museums too.
Oh yeah.
And
we're
Dutch
artists.
masters and Van Gogh. And
Van Gogh. And anyway, so I'm half Dutch. My dad is Dutch, and he's just turned 90. So I'm sort of honoring him. I'm learning more and more about my Dutch roots. And the theme of this exhibition was how mankind relates to nature. So I thought, the Dutch icon is really the windmill, which really, put the Netherlands at the forefront of the world back in they're called the Golden Age in the mid 1600s. But not only did they use windmills to, reclaim land from the seas, but they also use them as sawmills to make ships, from wood, etc. So that's why I chose this theme. And I guess I'm a traditional oil painting artist. And
that's beautiful, Peter.
Beautiful.
I was just going to ask, is that particular windmill being used for pumping water or for grinding wheat, or do you know?
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm doing a whole series of windmills. And when I travel, I'll take photos, and I've been to the Netherlands so many times. I have paintings that I've done of the Dutch canals in Amsterdam. I'm just starting this new series of windmills. And maybe I'll get to the tulips and Kuchenhof in the future too. But yeah, I don't know the particulars of this windmill, but yeah, I just wanted to show its relationship, mankind to nature.
Right.
And that's it.
Thank you. Jamie McLeod, you have your hand up. Let's try 3. Oops, I guess it's 4.
Can you also see me?
I can see you.
Oh, great. You're almost there.
There you are.
There
Okay.
you go. That's 1.
Okay, and
3.
that's the other.
Yes,
I love
that's
the colors.
the other.
The colors are
Yes.
so bright.
Thank you so much.
They're beautiful, gorgeous. I love bright colors, I tell you.
Thank you so much for including me. Oh, am I available?
Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, do we have anybody else who would like to speak about their work? Any more volunteers?
Can you show,
I might.
can you show Judy Heimlich's work?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
too.
Judy, there you are.
Peter,
Okay.
Okay.
It's, go back up right there on the end.
There you are. Yeah,
Ah,
I love it.
beautiful.
This is called Flight and it's a watercolor. And I have like faintly, there's a kind of a blue-gray line. This is kind of very loose painting. And then in front of it, there's a much more vivid color like in burnt sienna and umbers. And there's a lot of lines, going up to create the background. And then I
It
have
looks like a feather. It looks like delicate feather.
oh, yeah,
yeah.
thanks. Then I have a few birds, in the sky and a very faint sky. And there's a lot of like splattering also, spattering.
Beautiful.
So,
Looks like the wildlife reserve, the Sepulveda Dam Wildlife Reserve.
oh, yeah.
Reminds me of that.
Judy, weren't you in Japan? It looks like a lot of Japanese influence.
Yeah,
Your
I
style.
was. I did live in Japan a long time ago.
Yeah, I can see.
3 months.
Yeah. I wonder if it had any influence on you, their style of painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have.
Okay, I don't see any other.
Try
I'll
Nora.
share, Barbara.
Okay,
I'm still here.
great. Let's see.
Hey, I don't think I really got represented here. Did you show my work?
Yeah.
Yours is in
Yeah.
there, Nora. I see
Right?
it. I can see it. There it is. Just passed.
Okay,
I sort of got a usurp there.
There it is, right there.
Okay.
We started out with Jamie McLeod
That's
and
it.
then
okay,
she
I'll come
disappeared.
back, I'll come back to you, Jamie. I had shown you.
Don't
pictures,
worry.
But
No
you didn't say
thanks.
anything, but I'll come back to you. Okay, Nora?
Hi. Okay, so I did a plein air in Tehachapi. I was struck by late afternoon light that came across this frontal mountain and lit up the undulating hillsides in the background. I just loved all the varying curves of the landscape. While I was painting this, I wasn't sure that I was going to include the telephone pole there, but compositionally it really worked. And also I felt that it lent narrative in a very minimal way of you know, there are little tiny bits and pieces that tell the mark of man's existence in this location. Not to forget the manner in which this particular tree was pruned. It looked like it had just gotten its little Pac-Man cut, you know, just so it didn't fall all the way to the ground or something. It's a bit of a joke there, but I paint obviously sort of a impressionistic realism stuff. So mine's a little more maybe boring than most of these fascinating and fantastic artworks that I see you guys doing. But there's got to be one of me in the group or a few of me in the group.
If I can say something, I love the reeds and the grass, how they're fused and they're kind of like a haze in the foreground. And I like how you show the variable shades of light, well, shade and light. But I like the grass in the foreground, how you bring in, you bring out. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I integrate a degree of abstraction, but it's essentially sort of an impressionism. But I also am a little stuck on being pretty faithful to form if I can. But anyway, it's always intrigued me the differences between mankind's things that they make, you know, the things that people make and build and all that. They're so foreign to nature. It's as if they came from another planet, or we gave a, you know, and yet we're integrated. So anyway, this is just my piece that shows.
If I can ask, how long did it take you to paint this? I know you like to sit in the easel and kind of look out at landscape.
I don't know. It may have taken a couple weeks.
Interesting. So
Roughly,
you put a lot of labor into this.
I do, and a lot of angst. Painting is very hard for me because I'm trying to integrate sort of impressionism and realism together, as well as being expressive, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
I think plein air is very difficult. I could never do that. I could never have the patience to do that. You do, and you're really good at it.
This is not a plein air. This was done from a plein air study and my photograph of the area. And obviously I'm pushing the color and being interpretive, but I am not nearly as interpretive as so many of these works that are just delightful to see. I'm glad I hung in here. I'm not really feeling very good in it. It's been nice to just be quiet and let everybody else kind of.
The light is really beautiful, Nora.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, your colors are just stunning. They're beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, now let's go back to Jamie McLeod. Are you still here? Okay. Yeah, I don't see her anymore.
It's just a lovely piece.
Okay. All right, turn this back to Ken.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I want to thank everybody for participating. And as per usual, every one of our exhibits just amazes me at the quality and variety we get. And even though it's online, it isn't quite the same as having it in person, but it gives people that couldn't participate because they aren't local an opportunity to participate, which is also good. And so I want to just thank everybody for putting in their pieces. Now, Deborah, we haven't heard from you, and I know you've got one piece in the show.
Yeah, I guess I didn't
last
feel
chance
like
to talk about it.
I just
Whoops.
feel like talking.
Do you want it?
Sure. Okay, just breathe.
Here, let me find it again because
It's all right. I mean, we
I
don't have
lost the
to.
site here.
I just like listening and
Okay, so where are you? Are you in Michigan now, Deborah? Or are you local?
yeah, after all my decades living in LA, I moved back last year. My mom almost passed, so she's needing a lot of help now. So I'm back here, back in my home state of Michigan, and taking care of her here.
Now I'm back on Chrome. I can actually maybe look for you.
This one.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
There you are.
There it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's
This was a kind of inspired by a song and the pandemic, believe it or not. I was listening to this song by this artist, David Gray, that I like a lot, is The Crow Flies. And it was during the pandemic, and I kind of thought to myself, well, the crow isn't flying now. I mean, that's what I kind of felt like. I felt like nobody's flying. And so I was working on this piece already, and I just really like painting darkness and light. I'm fascinated by that because one doesn't exist without the other. So anyway, I had this painting. It was almost completed, and then I added just that little hint of a crow on the line because I felt like that's where we were. We were all basically communicating and sitting on basically Zoom lines and telephone lines, and that's how we were existing for so long. So it sort of kind of became a little commentary on that. And that's it.
thank you.
Beautiful color.
Thank you, Ken.
All done with palette knife.
Oh, yes, still my
Precious.
same, yeah. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, again, thank you everybody for showing up. It was a good show. I'm glad you were able to participate. And
Good to see everybody.
we've got our next exhibit coming up. Is it going to be at the Thousand Oaks? I guess they've got a community center there, and that'll be in February. And that's going to be a live show in person. And you have to bring the piece in yourself. And there will be gallery sitting by the artist requirement. So if you want to have a live show, that's what's going to be in February. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Beautiful
you.
work. Thank you.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to next time.